Hey y'all, it's your girl Drake, and this is Talks to Drake, and I'm here with my girl Ashley.
Hey guys, I'm Ashley, CEO of Capital Movements.
So Ashley, give us a little more detail on who you are.
So I am a small business consultant. I help people properly structure their business. I help them with their personal and business credit so they can build it, and then I teach them how to leverage it to get funding for their business.
And what got you started in wanting to do this program?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur for quite a while now, and you know, as an entrepreneur, you hit a lot of like rough patches. Eventually, people always say cash is king, but eventually people run out of cash. You run out of cash. So I had to find another method, another way, because I felt like I kept hitting these roadblocks. And the biggest thing for me was I found a mentor who taught me the game of how to use my credit, how to leverage my business credit, and basically how to use other people's money. And after that, it just changed the game for me, and I knew I had to share it with other people.
Oh, I love it. So doing this, what eye-openers have you seen so far as starting this business?
The biggest eye-opener for me is, for starters, I've always wanted to work for myself and, you know, be independent. I'm not big on, you know, working for other people. Like, as soon as I met my husband, we've been owning businesses since then, and you know, we've hit so many roadblocks, and I feel like if we would have had someone to tell us like exactly what to do, of like, or the do's and don'ts kind of business, right? And things that like relate to anybody, and just like having a mentor to like walk you and guide you through, we could have been so much more successful now, right? So my big thing is now sharing that with others and other small business owners, and kind of just helping them get over the hump, because I feel like a lot of times we get stuck in our own heads, and or it might not be that, it might be something like as small as credit. Well, it's not small, but you know what I mean? Like they don't teach us that in school. We have to learn that ourselves. And you could have all the money available, but still get declined for something. And you're like, how? I have cash, and it's because of your credit. So learning those factors, and the biggest thing that was able to help me was getting a mentor to teach me and get me over the hump. So now I want to do the same for other people.
Oh, I love it. So doing that, what obstacles have you had to face on doing this business?
What obstacles have not come my way? So no, I think that the biggest thing I had to realize was being patient. Being patient, because you have to work with the creditor's time, the bank's time, the lender's time. Is not on your time. So also like the process of getting your credit fixed, we all know that's not easy peasy. And then building your business credit and utilizing it is way easier than on your personal, but it still takes time. It's still a 60 to 90 day process. So it's still a little bit of time. So even though a lot of times when people come to me and they're like, hey, I need my credit fixed, I need a car like today. And I'm just like, it takes time. So a lot of times people like actually realize what they need when it's too late. Or they have to realize, hey, it's gonna take time. And that's what I had to realize too, in just my process of like waiting for everything and waiting for the credit bureaus to report. You already paid it off, or you already did this, but now it has to report that it's your utilization is now. So now you have to wait another 30 days, or now you have to wait another 26 days, or whatever it may be. So it's really like a waiting game. And you know, in this day and age, we want everything like
quick. We want everything now. It's my money and I need it now. No, that's great. I love to hear it. And if you can give us a little more background and detailed on exactly the steps and stuff that you take and that you do, that'd be great.
So my process with a small business owner, initially what I do is I like to ask them for two things. So I will ask you like, hey, can you pull your 3-in-1 credit report? So I have a link that I sent you. It's through Identity IQ. You pull your 3-in-1 report, it's $1, and it tells me your personal scores, right? And then I ask you, hey, do you already have an LLC? Do you have an established business, or do you need to set one up? If you already have one, I have a business questionnaire that'll let me know like everything you filled out. So basically like what I'm looking for and how you set up your business is, one, did you use your home address? Two, do you have like a separate, do you have a professional email address? Let's say that. Like if your business is Capital Movements and your email address is capitalmovements@gmail.com, no, it's not professional.
Okay.
And then 3 is like a business phone number, and then a website, like something simple, right? So those are the 4 components I'm looking at. And then if you do not have an LLC established, then I love that because we get to start from scratch. I don't have to go back and fix anything. I can tell you exactly what to do, walk you through those steps. And then once we set everything up, I walk you through everything you need to do. The reason why I asked for your personal business scores is, even though it doesn't matter in establishing your business credit, it's gonna matter when it comes to the funding part.
Okay.
A lot of people like to talk about no PG, which is no personal guarantee. You can only get so far with that with certain like lenders and things like that, where you don't have to guarantee, basically like put your information down. But if you're trying to get to the big money,
yes,
it's gonna matter.
Okay.
Big banks, they look at your personal credit score. So you can have the best business scores that can, get you where you need to be on your business. But if on your personal, you're at like 400 or 500s, you're not gonna be getting approved for those fundings. So that's why those are like the main things that I ask when I first sit down with somebody. And then that way I can also look over everything, create like a strategy, and let you know like, hey, this is what we need to do, this is about how long it's gonna take, and let's get started.
Okay. Knowing that you helped other clientele in the previous, what can you talk about regarding them and what that you helped them with and that they accomplished?
Yeah, so the great thing about my business, the way I created it,
okay,
I don't care if you do hair, I don't care if you're a real estate owner, I don't care if you, whatever that your business is, everybody needs funding. So my strategy, I guess you would say, is helping you properly structure, because everybody needs those fundamentals, right? And then that way you're able to look reliable and credible to get the funding. So I really don't care what you do, like what your business model is in a way, but my goal is to basically get you properly set up so you can get the funding. Now I do care that, once you get the funding, you have a plan in place so that you don't just fall into all this debt, because a lot of times people, this is like their first $10,000, let's say, or their first credit card, and they're just like, ooh, and they get happy. And then next thing you know, they're like $50,000 in credit cards, and they're like, ooh, hold on.
Where did this come from?
No, let's have a strategy in place. So that's why I do a lot of networking too. So I have other people that I can reach out to. So once I do what I need to do as far as getting you set up, getting you the funding, now I also have these other people that can tell you, like, they can show you how to create your business plan, how to, like, do your marketing and stuff like that. So I always say, like, I don't know it all, and I'm not trying to know it all.
Yeah.
I like to delegate. So I'm good at what I'm good at, and then I can tell you where to go after.
I love it. I love to hear it, just because, like you said, you let it be known. I only know so much, so I can only help you with this, and then what I give you, you have to take it and you have to put in the steps and do
do the work.
I can open this door for you, but it's up to you to walk through it.
Yes.
No, I love it. I understand fully. So give us a little more detail on who you are, though. Where are you from?
Okay, so I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
Bronx, New York. I was born in Manhattan, raised in the Bronx. I moved to Arizona my senior year of high school because my mom wanted this big change.
Okay.
So I'm like, went from like a city girl to like this little town in Arizona. It was like a bunch of cows and an open campus. Like, my school in New York, I had to go through metal detectors 8 stories high, and then I moved to like a small town where there's one high school and it's an open campus, and there's chickens across the street. And I'm just like, okay. But that was my senior year. When I ended up going to ASU for psychology, I didn't finish. I did 2 years. I met my husband, started a business, so we opened up a gym. And that's kind of like my first dabble into business.
Okay.
Kinda. We used to buy and sell cars, so we go to the car auction. The mechanic will fix them up and we will sell it. So that was like my first play in like being a small business owner.
Okay.
Insurance agent. We opened up the gym. Many lessons learned.
Yeah.
There. For one is don't use your own money, to fund your business. There's so many other resources out there, and eventually you run out of money, and it's just not fun.
Okay.
So many lessons I learned in that. But anyway, when I became pregnant, we made a decision. We're like, hey, we can either go all in, because we're kind of like, when we decide to do something, we go all in, right? So I don't care if I have to eat ramen noodles and we're not going anywhere. Like, we're gonna dedicate.
Yeah, we gotta hustle.
Yes. So at that point, I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm pregnant. Like, we're about to have a baby. Like, we can't just keep doing this. Like, we need a plan. So we decided to shut down the gym. And keep what we had at the time, and then we do Turo. When the pandemic happened, we were basically sitting down in a place and like with 2 cars that wasn't doing anything, and we wasn't going anywhere. Which at the time he was like, I think he was like looking on YouTube and we came across like a Turo ad or something, or somebody talking about it, and we're just like, well, let's try it. Like, what's there to lose? And we tried it and it worked well. And then I managed my sister's Airbnb when she's gone because she's military. So had a little bit of that experience. And then I came across my mentor. And she taught me about learning how to use business credit and, having basically owing everything, and how to like transition like your debt basically to your business. Like that way you look clean on paper, like everything is under a business, like not under you. And like that whole game. And she just broke it down, like did workshops and everything. I was just like
yeah, you was knowledge into it.
Yeah, so like I went through the steps and like I'm learning this and I'm seeing things happen and I'm like obtaining these things, and I'm just like, wow, like if I would have known this, if we would have known this just a few years ago,
right,
the difference. So I was like, I have to share this. So it's like, this is my business, because I go to networking events, I meet people where it's like, yeah, they might have been doing what they're doing for years, they're pretty well at what they do, but there's also people who like, you could tell they're like trying to figure it out. They don't, and it's just like, I'm like, I don't care what you're trying to do. You still need to like have this established and like properly structured business and funding. I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So let me show you, like, let me teach you how to do it. Let me show you how to do this part so that you can expand. So that's what I do, and that's what makes me happy now.
No, that's
sharing
good.
that with others.
And it's good that you're willing to know, like, you went through this little change and now you have it. So now it's like, okay, I have it. I want to share it with somebody else. And that's how it keeps going. You lift one up and everyone lifts up, and regardless, you're still on top because we got the information from you. So and I'm still learning. Like I'm always a student. Like I'm not saying I know everything and like everything on how to do it. Like obviously I still pay my courses and like, to learn other things. If I want to learn e-commerce, if I want to learn drop shipping, if I want to learn whatever it may be, I'm getting other mentors to teach me that, because I wanna be able to diversify and like I want my daughter to be straight. Basically. Understandable. It's real life. So like you said, they don't teach us that. If we don't know, we won't know it until we get older and say, hey, I want to go in business for myself. What steps do I have to take? They're not preparing us for this in school. They're telling us 5 times 5, ABC, read this, get to work, go work for this person. It's like, it's basically they're setting us up to fail to do something else, and then what we actually can qualify to do for ourselves.
Yes, I went to college or not.
Okay.
One of the things that didn't sit well with me was knowing like I'm going to this classroom, right? This professor is here, she's telling me all these things, but
eventually I want to be a millionaire, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
How can you teach me to do that if you're over here making minimum wage? We know that professors don't really make money. So how can you teach me and how can you show me everything that I need to do to get where I want to be?
And you right here.
But you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just couldn't never grasp I couldn't really grasp my head so and then you have to do all these prerequisites with that have nothing to do with your major.
Yes.
And I was just like, I was done.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying college, that you shouldn't do college, but it depends on what you want to do or should do. And if anything, a business class doesn't hurt. But it's good that they have those things out there, but like you were saying, they wasn't hands-on. It's just here's all this information, and a lot of times you get all this overload. You don't know where to start.
Yes.
And that's another thing. What I do, it's available out there. You can get all of it for free on YouTube, on Instagram, through Reels, but you have to break it down, see where to start, find, right? A lot of people don't want to do that work. I also provide ebooks where it's here's a self-guided, not figure it out, but go do it yourself. But a lot of times people, one, don't have the time, or two, don't have the patience.
Okay.
So it's okay, so then they hire me to do it for them, but I'm also going to be hands-on and walk and let you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing that. That way you understand, because a lot of business owners don't just have one business. Mm-hmm. They start many of business. Yes. So I want you to be able to duplicate that. Mm-hmm. So that's my goal.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Drake, and this is Talks with Drake. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm here with my girl Ashley.
Hey y'all, this is Ashley. I'm CEO of Capital Movements. To book a free strategy session, check me out on Learn to Leverage on Instagram. Thank you.